Hello everyone, I'm Farmer Sim and welcome back to Saxlingham. I do hope you're all doing very well and having a wonderful day. So, it's been just over a month since I did the last episode on here, which those of you who have been following this series from the start, I do apologise for. Obviously, Christmas and New Year being part of that time and obviously concentrating on a couple of other series as well. But I kind of felt motivated to jump back on here and do a little bit and get a bit done. Now, as you can see, we are now in March. I have moved us through the winter period because there's very little going on in winter, let's be honest. So I have carefully moved us through winter and sorted out all the animals and whatnot. We're now sat at about, focusing first and foremost on the money, we're now sat at 363 and a bit thousand pounds. We have made just under 17.5 grand from when we last left off in November, I think it was. That's primarily down to our clothes productions that we've got just around the corner by the sheep barn there. Obviously, the sheep produce their wool, and I fire that over into the production system, which then automatically feeds it over to the fabric and clothes production side of things, and then that automatically sells. So every month we've had a little bit of income coming in, and that's taken us up to almost 364 grand. So that's really quite nice. I have also, like I say, concentrated on making sure all the animals are topped up with food and water in places and stuff, which I did actually. There was one of the pig barns I did forget about the water, which I'll touch base on shortly. But the main thing is all the animals are doing absolutely fine. We started making a dent in our backlog of products to keep the pigs fed and the cows. Obviously, we've got loads of grass. The cows are 100% grass fed on this series, and we've got plenty of grass still stowed away in the shed over there, as we have straw. And yeah, like I say, made a bit of a dent in what we've got here in the silo from the grains, proteins and root crops and base food for the pigs. So it's all good. Now we're in a reasonably decent position here at the minute. We've obviously in the last few episodes since this series started, the main focus has been to focus on making sure that pig food, essentially, because they take the most kind of work. I think we've got quite a lot of animals on the farm. We've now actually got even more animals than when we started with, because across that winter period, we have now gained another 692 mouths to feed, which is an incredible number. So the animals are going to need more food as we move forward, but we've got 182 lambs that have, as you can see here, a couple of them anyway, displayed. We've got 182 lambs. We had 500 new piglets born, and we also had 10 baby goats as well. So in total 692 new animals and new mouths to feed. So I suppose the work's just going to ramp up, isn't it, in that respect? But yeah, like I said, we're in a decent position. We've got some wheat planted in the field in front of us here. That is obviously for the pigs. We've got grass growing. All the grass fields are currently at growth stage 3 of 4, but we do have a few empty fields as well that we do have everything's planned for. Essentially, I've got a crop plan in mind, I suppose. All of it primarily focusing on pig food. Those of you who followed the series, obviously, for the last few episodes, I know I'm repeating myself here, but obviously for those of you who are just picking this episode up for the first time, that's the where I'm focusing on. So we've got, obviously we're in March now, so we can plant canola. We can also plant potatoes, which we do have a huge amount of stashed away in the potato storage shed, but I quite like the idea of doing a potato cash crop, because I've never actually done, again, another first, I've never actually done from start to finish a proper potato harvest. I've harvested potatoes in a field that the game gave me to start off with, but I've never grown my own potatoes and then harvested them. So I'd like to, I'm going to give that a go. Now, field 16, which was a grass field, one of our latest acquisitions a few episodes ago, I'm going to be planting potatoes in there. So that's what I'd like to try and get done today. One of the jobs I want to get done today, if at all possible. There's a couple of things I want to do first, though. We do have on the farm now, again, as a result of speeding through the last few months and getting winter kind of out the way, we have got collectively just under 650,000 litres of natural fertilizer. That's between slurry and manure. We've got 300,000 litres of manure. We've got 345,000 litres of slurry between the cows and the pigs, which is incredible. So I do have a slurry tanker which we can use to spread the slurry, but I don't have a manure spreader. But my friendly neighbour over there, Kim, on her other farm, there is some equipment over there that I do have access to, so I'm going to be borrowing her manure spreader. Hope you don't mind, Kim. I'll bring it back. I'll give it a wash. Don't you worry. I'll try not to use any of my skill issues up and damage it in any way whatsoever. So yeah, I'm going to be borrowing that. It's a nice big one. It's one of the base game Samson manure spreaders, so it's got a capacity of like 30,000 litres, and our fields are decent sizes on this series, so I'm hoping I should be able to utilise some of that natural fertiliser. Now, because I've never done potatoes before, I don't know properly what the entire level of nitrogen that they require. So what I've got in mind is to throw some manure onto that empty field and just top up the base level of nitrogen a little bit, because we will need to top it up again with some proper liquid fertilizer. We'll use the John Deere sprayer over there in the future once the potatoes are in the ground. But before the potatoes are in the ground, I'd like to just make a dent in that pile of manure and yeah, get some nitrogen into that, and then it'll save me the money purchasing the liquid. It'll save me money, and it'll save using more liquid fertilizer, won't it, in the near future, if I just top it up with a bit of the natural stuff that has come for free on the farm. So that's the idea. So that's what we're going to go and do relatively straight away. But I've got the doors open, or this door open anyway, on the JCB, because it's a mod that I did briefly showcase over on my Dig Out of Debt series in Kentucky that has recently come about, and it's a mod by a modder called Templeton Peck, and it's called Cab Cinematic, and it is utterly brilliant. Now it's not the mod's brilliant, quite frankly. He's been working on it for a while now, I believe, and how well it works is dependent on the vehicles that you have on your farm, and it's all dependent on whether the vehicles have openable doors or not. Now, some of them don't. Obviously, the base game stuff like this Vulture, this doesn't. You can't open the doors on this, unfortunately. You can open them on the New Holland there. That is a mod. You can open the doors, but they seem to automatically shut behind you as well. So when it comes to just taking advantage of the cab cinematic, it can be a bit funny sometimes when you climb in and out and the doors don't open. You just kind of merge through the glass. But this one, and now the mod has been updated. The cinematic for entering the cab is also there. So if you it's just brilliant. Watch this. You just climb in, and there you go. You climb into the cab, and now you're there. And then we can shut that door there, but now we can shut that door there like that. But it is brilliant if I open it again. I literally can't get enough of it. But you climb out, you can move around while in the middle of the cinematic, which I think is brilliant. But now some of the tractors it does work. And now this is a modded JCB, and the fact that it works is just brilliant. I can't get enough of it. It just adds so much more immersion into the game. I really do think it's brilliant. It really is. So anyway, yeah, I just wanted to do that. I know it was a little bit silly, but I just love it. I really, really do. So I suppose if I was going to be starting a series from scratch, taking advantage of all these incredible mods that we do have now in the game, I'd be a lot more thoughtful and mindful in picking vehicles that do have doors that you can open, just purely to take advantage of the cab cinematic mod. But obviously I started this series quite a way ago, when that mod wasn't around. But yeah, so we're going to trundle around now to Kim's farm and just go pick up this great big manure spreader. And like I say, we're going to work in field 16 initially. There's plenty of other stuff we've got to crack on with within the month of March. We do need to run the cultivator in field 39, which is the field that we harvested the sunflowers from in the last episode, because we do have a plan we're going to be planting soybeans in that field next month. The soybeans are obviously going to be going towards the protein side of the pig food. So there we go. Let's do this all over again. Can't get enough of it. It's just mega. It really is. So let's get that connected up. PTO cables. There we go. It's a proper whopper of a thing, this. I'll look after it, Kim. I promise. I'll bring it back all clean, undamaged. There you go. So, yeah. Go and take advantage of this. I think it's a beautiful farm, this one. It really is. Another wonderful bit of work from Kim. Don't spend enough time down there, let's be honest, but it's not my farm, what can I say? But yeah, so let's go and spread some manure. I'm going to load up. I think when I take you around to the cow barns, you'll see the mountain of manure that we've got around there to start making a dent in. So that's where we're going to start with. And I don't know how far it's going to go. I don't know how. Don't know how much we're going to use just for field 16. Now, I can also use primarily the idea was to use the natural fertilizer that we get from the cows and the pigs for our grass fields, but I think we've got so much of it at the minute that I'm hoping it should it should go the distance and sort the grass fields out as well. But we'll sort the grass fields out after the next cut and give them a, once we've cut it, then we'll spread some manure and slurry in there and bring up the levels of nitrogen in there, because they're all right at the minute. I'm not going to fuss too much about the yields that we get from the grass fields for the next cut. We'll sort them out once we've got the next mowing done. So let's get ourselves around here. Now through the winter I could give most of the equipment a bit of a wash as well, and I need to go and open that door, don't I? So here we go again. There we are. I think it'd be it's a better idea manoeuvring wise, so I can just drive through the cow barn here, and if I can get it in there anyway. It's a big tractor this, and it is a big spreader, but I'm pretty sure. There we are. I should have made it. Just saves me having to reverse at this end, really. Let's bring up that F1 menu, because I am hoping that I should just be able to pull up here and fill up, which it doesn't seem to allow me to do at the minute. That's a shame. The trigger is there somewhere. Oh no, that is a shame. Does this mean I'm going to have to do this manually? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Bear with me 2 seconds. Right then, well, I'm going to be abandoning the manure pile for the now over at the cow barn there. I'm just going to be using it here from the pig side of things. We've got a nice big manure pile here. It doesn't, for some reason, I don't know why, but I can't seem to automatically load up the manure from that cow barn, frustratingly, which we've got 100, or we did have 113,000 litres here. We've got 168,000 litres over there. So if I have to do that manually with my 5,000 litre bucket, that is going to take some considerable time. So yeah, that's a bit of an annoyance, but hey ho, it is what it is. We've got 30,300 litres behind us now. Let's go see how far this is going to go on our currently empty field. Now, I think I can just work my way around here. There we are. I was convinced at that cow barn that there was a trigger, as there is on that manure bunker or manure pad, to load up the manure, which frustratingly it seems there isn't anymore. So that was a bit odd. But yeah, so I'll have to sort that out. Like I say, if I have to do it manually, I'm going to have to with the telehandler. It is what it is. But I don't quite fancy spending hours faffing around trying to figure it out. I just want to crack on and get this started. So over to the field. See you there in a minute. Right, here we are. I figured I'd come to the top of the field here where there's no gate to worry about, with this being quite a decent size convoy that I've got here, the big JCB and the manure spreader behind me. I didn't want to try and feed my way through that little narrow gate that's at the bottom of the field. So let's jump out of cab and have a quick look-see. In fact, I'll throw cruise control on. And then get this thing unfolded. There we are. Cruise control. Switch it on. It's got quite a decent spread on it, this one, hasn't it? Let's see how far all this goes. So, it's going to take me a little bit of time, this, so we'll throw some tunes on. And I'll catch you soon. Right, here we are, just finishing off, so yeah, only a few minutes left to get this done. But one thing I did want to point out, another mod that I wanted to, again, briefly showcase. I know I did touch base on this one, in the previous episode of the Dig Out of Debt Kentucky series, is a mod that really was very helpful when I was whizzing through time, getting through winter, and keeping an eye on the pig food, and that is NX Modding's Feed Calculator mod. It's a cracking little thing. Jumping into the animal menu just to show you here, and that's what I meant. You see here by the pigs here being at 30% health. It's because I was concentrating so much on the food here as I was relatively quickly whizzing through winter that I'd completely missed the water going down here, so their health dropped down to 0% in the very last month. So it increases 10% every hour, so a few hours time they'll be back up to 100%. So I'm not worried. I'm not going to lose any sleep over that. But here it is. What it does display, it displays essentially the usage of food for your different animals per month, and it also gives you, and this is the very helpful bit that I found, was how much time is left for the amount of food that's in that particular animal pen to go down, and how long, how long it's going to take them to go through how much food is currently in the barn. So as we can see, this particular pig pen has 1 month and 2 days left of food, essentially. So it was very, very helpful. So I knew I didn't want to just, start in November and just fast forward time right the way through to, to March and into spring, because I'd know, A, that the animals would run out of food, they would run out of health, and I'd have to essentially start them again at the very beginning of spring. But I was able to just monitor the food based on what I knew they had left in the pen, which was absolutely brilliant. So massive shout out to NX Modding. I will put the link to his GitHub page in the video description below. He's working on a couple of other mods as well. I know he's got a vehicle mileage mod in that I think is out there, and also there's another one as well that he's working on as well. So I'll put the link to his GitHub page in the video description below. So yeah, wholeheartedly recommend you go check it out. Give it a download. Very helpful mod to have on board. But there we go. So, almost finished. This is running courseplay, of course, just so I can concentrate on talking and getting two things done at once. I should finish off about there. There we go. Lovely stuff. Nice. Right then, so this field is now ready, I feel, to get some potatoes drilled in here. So we'll get back to the farm. I think I might give this JCB a rest, because the potato planter is a tow behind thing, and it requires about 170 horsepower. So even though all of our tractors are north of 300 horsepower, I think they are, I'll give this one a bit of a break for a bit of variety. I think we'll jump in the New Holland. We'll get using that, and we'll need to load up with some seed first of all from our little seed purchase point that we have on the farm, and then get back out here, get planting some tatties. Right, I think we'll just leave this here for now. I'm going to turn... Why does both those doors open when I do that? It drives me crazy, that does. But yeah, there we go. We'll leave this here. Kim, if you don't mind, mate, I'm going to keep hold of this lovely manure spread of yours for a little while, just until I empty it and use up a bit more manure on the grass fields potentially. But here we are. Now I'll show you what I mean by this. You see, because I can't open the doors, you just kind of merge through the glass, but then I get in and the door opens and closes again. So yeah, unfortunately, and that's nothing to do with the cab cinematic mod. That is entirely down to just the individual characteristics of the individual tractors. But here we go. The potato planter for the very first time on the series, and for the very first time for me, essentially. Now, I do have manual attach on, but see, that's pretty cool. You see, when I get out, the door opens itself, but then it automatically opens. But anyway. Right, that's pretty much sorted, I think. Back in the cab, and we'll trundle round here. We should be able to I'll just go around the tree this way round. We should just be able to pull up here and get some. Yep. I want to load it with seeds, not potatoes. There we go. Excellent. Even though it does actually still load it with potatoes, but we'll be right. So back to the field. Now this is it's a 6 metre wide potato drill, this one, so of all the base game potato equipment, it is the bigger of them, so that's all good, but it's still going to take us a decent bit of time. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Like I said before, my first experience of doing potatoes from start to finish, planting and hopefully harvesting in the future. But yeah, it's all good. But I did also mention before, didn't I, that you know, we've got a good crop plan going on the farm to keep looking after the pigs and also keep a bit of cash coming into the bank. We've got some sorghum that we're going to be planting in April. That's going to be going towards base food for the pigs. We're doing the potatoes now. This is going to be a cash crop, which I'm hoping should be pretty fruitful in a wee while's time when they're ready to harvest. We're going to be planting canola in field 37. That is going to be a bit of a pair between cash crop and going towards some protein, because we did harvest the sunflowers in the last episode, didn't we, which was as the field was as the game gave it to us, so the yields weren't great. So of all of the pig food types that we have, the protein side of things is what we're running lowest on. So but I do have a plan to plant some sunflowers and soybeans as well, though. We're going to be putting sunflowers in field 46. That's going to be April. Some soybeans in field 39. Again, that's going to be April. So April's going to be a busy month for drilling. And we've already got the wheat in the ground as well. So that's all good. So here we are. And I think, much like before, I'm going to throw a bit of music behind this job. I'm going to spend a couple of minutes just setting up the course play course, because it will take a good few minutes. And then, like I say, I'll pick you up in a wee while's time when this job's done. But for now, I'll throw it into a bit of a cinematic. I'll see you in a while. Right, there we go. Job done. job done pretty well, quite frankly, if I'm honest. There is something really quite nice about a freshly drilled field of potatoes, don't you think, ladies and gentlemen? This is a first for me, like I said before. But yeah, good job, well done. Now, as you can see from the nitrogen values that we've got in the bottom right-hand corner, of course, we applied the manure before, and that's given us a reading of about 60 kilograms per hectare, but we do need 120 for the potatoes. So quick jaunt out with the John Deere sprayer in the near future. That'll sort that out. But it has... whether some of you agree with what I did before, obviously, you know, it made sense to me because I've saved the value of whatever 50 to 60 to 70 kilograms a hectare would have been in the cost and the usage of liquid nitrogen. Obviously, taking full advantage of the free fertilizer, it just made sense in my head. Whether that's a practice that real farmers are doing in real life, I don't know, but it just made sense to me, especially when we had, what did we have previously, about 640,000 litres of free natural fertilizer on the farm, so it made sense to use it. But yeah, that has cost us the value of pretty much a used car, the kind of price you'd expect to see on a used car forecourt. 17,995 it's cost us for the potatoes to drill this field, but I'm absolutely certain that we will make that money back come harvest time. Harvest time for these potatoes isn't too far away, actually. It's only going to be in August, so a few months away, and we'll bring this to fruition, and hopefully that's going to bring in a decent amount of money. I don't need to worry about keeping any aside, of course, because we've still got tons of the things over in the shed over on the farm, so yeah, this is entirely a cash crop. So next jobs on the list will be, like I said, we'll be spraying this with some liquid nitrogen, and yeah, bring that yield up as best as possible. At the minute we're at 91%, so a full yield potential of 100% now, so it's all good. The line values are great, so that's all good. So yeah, just got to let these tatties do their thing and germinate in a wee while's time. And yeah, so the next job on top of that, once we've done that fertilizing, will be we need to get some canola drilled in field 37. That again will be it's going to be split across possibly a bit of cash and putting a little bit aside for the pigs as well to go towards their protein. So that's all good. But yeah, 2:15 in the afternoon, we've still got plenty of time, so the next episode will no doubt pick up roughly around here where we leave off. But for today's episode, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to call it here. So thank you very much for watching. I really do hope you have enjoyed the video and found it a little bit of fun and a little bit interesting. As always, if you're new to the channel and you like my content, you like the way I'm doing things, please consider hitting that subscribe button and jumping on board, joining the channel. Please give the video a like as well if you can. It does do wonders, helps the YouTube algorithm do its thing. And if you are in the market for purchasing Farming Simulator 25, please consider using my Giants Partner promo code for any of the game, the add-ons or the DLCs. Any support there would be massively appreciated. There is also coffee.com if you'd like to buy me a coffee. And of course, there is my G-Portal affiliate link if any of you are in the market for an online server to play with your mates. Any help and support here, ladies and gentlemen, would be massively appreciated. So, thanks again for your time, ladies and gentlemen. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.